Hey Sarah, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Please and thank you. Hey Nesha, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping in. We're about to get this started here in a minute. Hey Nesha, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping in. All right, we're gonna start at 31. This is the first movie that we're gonna put up, and first movie is Dog Soldiers. That I have that is a good movie to watch. It's a werewolf movie. It's about a group of army guys that are out in the woods, and they end up finding this cabin, and there's like a bunch of people that are already dying in there, and then they find there's a bunch of like bodies ripped to pieces, and they come to find out it's like a family of werewolves. Really good watch. I recommend it. And that's 31. Number 30 is 28 Days Later. If you haven't seen this, this is an awesome zombie movie. Totally different from the other ones. When I first saw it, I remember the fact that it was like zombies that ran, and they were just crazy, whacked out, freaking out zombies. And you can't get like it started from an infection from some kind of virus in monkeys, I believe. It's the first of it, and it's a British film movie. Cillian Murphy's in it. He's really awesome. Hey Casey Games, welcome to the stream. And that's that one. So 28 Days Later, great movie to watch in October. Number 29. House of Wax. Now, there's an older version of this movie, but I actually have the remake that they did. I believe it was, how old is this? 2005. It's from. It's about two brothers that run a house of wax. A group of college students around there, or even high school, late high school, are out camping and they're having car problems, so they decide to go over to the town next door, and well, the usual horror film thing where they get taken in and helped out, but then there's some mystery behind everything that's going on in the town when they go to the House of Wax. It's a good watch if you like suspenseful horror movies and twists. So I think you would enjoy that one. All right, 28. I should have put 28 Days Later at 28, but I guess. 28 is The Evil Dead. Thanks for the like, Casey. Appreciate it. The Evil Dead. If you've never seen this movie, it's freaking awesome. It's one of Sam Raimi's and Bruce Campbell's first movies. It ended up being like a trilogy with Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, The Evil Dead show, which was really freaking awesome. If you like that show, you'd like this movie. That's where it all began. Special effects are really well done for a cheap budget. They didn't have a lot of money when they made this movie. There's a lot of stop motion and everything in it. The horror is kind of comedic at times, but it was really well done for what they had. I really enjoy this movie and definitely suggest to watch The Evil Dead during October. Great movie. Yeah, we're going to do number 27. Amityville Horror. Now this one is a remake that I have here, but the old one is still good. I believe I have it somewhere, but I don't know exactly right now. So definitely approve the old one over this, but this one's really good. And the ladies probably will like this with geez, what's his name? I can't even think of it. Ryan Reynolds. Shows a lot of skin, abs and stuff, so probably like that. But if nobody knows the Amityville Horror story, it's about a family that moves into a house where the son that used to live there had heard voices from the devil apparently and killed his whole family, and the ghosts are still there, and they end up getting haunted and possessed. So that's how the story goes, and it just keeps building on that. Has awesome ending and finish. I really liked it. Hey Shay, hey, thank you for coming to the stream. Appreciate it. And Amityville Horror, remake or old one, whatever you prefer. Good watch. Number 26 is Slither. Now, if you're squeamish, this is probably not a movie for you because there's a lot of gore and there's a lot of slimy looking creatures in it. I'm just going to talk about this one really quick because I don't have a really good memory on it, but there's some really good CG effects in it. It's very disgusting, but I believe it's, from what I can remember, it's about some kind of alien species or something like that comes to Earth, and it ends up inside of people, makes them do weird things like kill each other and all this stuff, kind of going crazy. But it's a good gore movie for October, for the month of Halloween. So Slither, suggest you watch it. Let's see here. Yeah, it is pretty gross, Sarah. It is disgusting in parts. All right, number 25. 13 Ghosts. If you've never seen this movie, it was out around the same time as like there was a lot of ghost movies coming out. House on Haunted Hill, the remake, came out around the same time. This one's about a guy that builds some kind of like device inside of a big house that captures 13 different ghosts, and somehow the electrical panel power goes down and the ghosts get out while there's people in there checking it out, and it's pretty crazy. I love the there's a girl on there, she's like pale white with a knife, and yeah, it's pretty spooky, pretty freaky. If you like your ghost movies, you'll definitely like this one, 13 Ghosts. Watch it. Let's see, what am I at? Losing track here. Oh, thank you, Shay. 24. We're at number 24 is My Bloody Valentine. Really good movie. The old one I have. It was filmed not that far from where I live in the mines. It's a revenge kind of movie about a miner. They did a 3D version of it quite a few years back, but it was good too. Some brutal killing in it. This one I find is a little bit more mysterious and better, just because it's 80s horror, classic 80s horror, Canadian filmed horror movie. So if you get a chance to watch it, I suggest watching the old one before you watch the 3D one. The 3D one has Jensen Ackles in it from Supernatural. So, but definitely a good watch. Scary movie, killer, great for October. Number 23, Demon Knight. Hey CM, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, number 23. This is one of the movies that Tales from the Crypt actually put out. They put out a couple. It was this and then Bordello of Blood, which is not as good. I love this movie. It's got some great comedy in it and some really cool kills. It dates back to way back when with Judas and everything like that. There's some good actors in it. William Sadler, he's a really big actor, was in a lot of horror movies. Billy Zane is in it. They all end up at a hotel anyway. It's like a halfway house, and there's a bunch of different people in it. Jada Pinkett Smith is in it. So one guy is a demon. He's after this certain cross thing, and if he gets it, the demons will rule the world, and hell will become world again. And with that, he's chasing after William Sadler, who is holding the key and protecting it. So, if you like demon movies, demonic possession, Tales from the Crypt even, it's a good watch. I definitely suggest to watch this one. Demon Knight, Tales from the Crypt. Okay, number 22. Um, Number 22 is Tamara. You never seen this movie? It's a B movie, budget movie. It's from the creators of Final Destination, and it stars what's her name? I forget. God, I can't even think of it. Sorry. uh, Jenna Tatum. Uh, Whatever his name is, Tatum's wife before they were married. Um, she's kind of like this geeky girl, and people make fun of her, and she doesn't get along. She ends up going to like some kind of witch, and ends up becoming some kind of possessed by some evil ghost or something like that, from what I can remember. I believe it's on Tubi TV. If you have that, you can watch it on there. She basically becomes psychotic and a killer after that. Yeah, Channing Tatum's wife. That's who it is. Thank you, Shay. That's who stars in this. Totally different movie. Really unexpected. I just rented it one time, and I really liked it. The storyline, the way it plays out. Um, I don't remember if there's any really good kills in it or anything like that, but I just like the story, and it was a really unexpected movie. Hey, Katie, welcome to the stream. So that is number 23. Oh, I don't know. I gotta keep up with this. Hang on one moment. I'll be right back. 23. All right, guys. Number 22. Number 22 is a vampire movie, The Lost Boys. If you've never seen this, classic 80s. Really good, great actors. You've probably, like, if you grew up in the 80s, you know a lot of these actors. I love Kiefer Sutherland as the main vampire in it, like one of the main vampire bad guys in it. Um, it's got both Corey Feldman and Corey Haim in it. Jason Patric, he was in quite a few movies back then. I remember a few of my cousins had posters of him on the wall, so he was like a teen idol back then that everybody was into. It's about a kid that moves to California with his family, and there's all these rumors of people disappearing and whatnot, and then he meets up with these two kids that run this shop that's kind of like a let me see, it's like what was it, a comic shop, yeah. The Frog Boys. And anyway, they get him convinced that vampires, and his brother gets involved with this biker gang, which he doesn't really know who they are or what they are, but they do some crazy stuff, and you all get in tied. Yeah, California. Yeah, The Lost Boys is a great movie. Good movie to watch in October. And goes along, definitely vampire, one of my top vampire movies. So that's number 22. Number 21 is another zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead, the remake. I'm not saying that the other one isn't great, the older one, but I liked the remake, Dawn of the Dead. Um, I watched it in theater, I think when it first came out, and so surprised because I had seen the old one quite a few times, and so well done, very imaginative. I liked zombies in it. There's some great actors in it. Vin Rhames is in it. If you've never seen it, uh, I totally suggest you watch this one. Even if you like the old one, you'd probably enjoy it. The ending was kind of weird, but it's a really good movie. Another great zombie movie. Definitely good to watch in October. Everybody knows the story of Dawn of the Dead. If you don't, it's about a group of people that end up together and end up in a shopping mall and trying to hide it there until they can get away. So, but that's the premise of it. All right, number 20. Wrong Turn. Now this is the first one. There's like 5 or 6 of them now. Um, it's kind of like a newer version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre when you think about it, but a little bit different. Um, it's about a group that is on some kind of trip, and they get problems with their car or whatnot, and end up being attacked by like a group of like deformed, kind of freaky people, cannibals, out on the road. It stars Eliza Dushku, or what, I don't know if I pronounced that right. I probably murdered her name, but she was on Buffy. Hey, Cloud, what's up? Welcome to the stream. And they end up being attacked by them, and they got to survive them. So in a way, it's kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but just a newer version with different idea, a little bit different idea. It spawns a whole bunch of sequels, like I said. The first one, by far the best. You have like origin story one and everything else, but Wrong Turn, the first one, a good watch for October. Number 19 is Cry Wolf. Now, this is a B movie title. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It came out around the same time that there was like Urban Legends, Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer. There was that whole frolic of movies that came out there about serial killers and new rage stuff. This one takes place at a college, and these kids are trying to set up kind of some kind of story, I guess, behind this killer, and it all actually comes out in the end to be true. And they always suspect each other of this, and one of them's the killer, and this one is, and it's got some good twists and turns. Suggest one. It's definitely a recommended watch, and I guarantee you'll like it. That's for sure. If you like Scream, you like Urban Legends, you like the movies from back then, Cry Wolf is definitely a good movie to watch. Alrighty. Number 18, Saw, the first one. Now everybody probably knows what this is all about. It's about a person that locks up people and puts them to test each other and see who can survive with some weird and gross, sick ways to survive. I'm just gonna keep this short and sweet. But if you haven't watched Saw and you like the suspense, but you don't really like gore, you probably could get through it. Um, it's definitely a good watch. I I recommended the first one more than the others, and everybody knows who the little doll Billy is with his little laugh. And you play Dead by Daylight, you definitely know a little bit about Saw. So Saw, another good watch. Thanks everybody for coming in, by the way. I appreciate it. I know this is not the coolest thing that anybody does, but I wanted to do a live stream of this. I have tons more movies. This is just what I threw together today right quick, and I hope everybody's enjoying. Number 17 is The Crazies. Now, this is the remake that I have here in my hand. The original George A. Romero did way back when. It was around the same time he was doing a bunch of zombie movies. It's very similar to a zombie movie, except it's more or less there's some kind of leak in a small town of some kind of chemical, and it starts to make everybody go crazy and become very murderous. The remake, I really liked it. It actually followed along pretty much the exact same storyline as the old one. So, if you like your zombie movies and you like your crazy movies, definitely a good watch. Yes, he is very good in it. Suggest watching The Crazies, old one or remake, whatever you prefer. Number 16 is When a Stranger Calls. Now this is the remake, which I seem to have a lot of its remakes. The old one was a classic, and if you're going to watch any of them, you should watch that one first. It's much more drawn out, though, and suspenseful at times, rather than this one. It's like a newer age one with cell phones and whatnot. Just by the title, you can expect what it is. It's a girl alone babysitting in a big house, and somebody keeps calling, disturbing phone calls, and you know, the usual. You probably all heard the story about the killer inside the house and all that stuff. Well, that's what this movie follows along with. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but if you like suspenseful horror movies, Stranger Calls is definitely your movie to watch. Number 15 is keeping along with Saw and Hostel and all those other movies. This movie came out of the blue one time, and I was just like mesmerized by how good it was. Hey, Black Wolf, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Number 15 is The Collector. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, it's a guy breaks into a house trying to, like a thief, trying to steal things. Meanwhile, this killer has set up traps for this family and there's whatnot. I don't want to go into it too depth, like tell everything about it, or spoil anything. But there's a sequel. There's supposed to be a third one coming out. I really enjoyed it. It's not talked about a lot, and if you've never ever seen it, you should watch this. This is really good. You'll definitely enjoy it, especially with there's a lot of cool kills. High tension. No, we'll leave that for later. I'll mention something about that though. But yeah, The Collector, definitely a good movie to watch. All right, number 14, The Candyman. Now, if you've never seen this movie, but you probably heard about it, Tony Todd stars in it. He's a classic movie actor. He's been in tons and tons of horror movies, TV shows. It's the story of forbidden love, and it comes with a curse, and has to do with, I don't want to spoil so much of it, but very creepy, very inside your mind, kind of screwing with you horror. The whole mirror thing, like everybody remembers Bloody Mary. Well, this definitely works better than that story, The Candyman, and it's set in like a different part, like of like a city that you wouldn't expect a horror movie to be in. It's not at a camp. It's not, you know, it's definitely a psychological horror kind of thing too. The storyline is well built in it, and I find it to be one of the best slasher movies too that ever came out. So, Candyman, definitely recommend to watch this in October. Okay, continue this on. I know this is long, but drawn out. The Toolbox Murders. This is another murderer movie, slasher movie. It's done by Tobe Hooper, who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He also did the first version of this, which back in the 70s wasn't that great, so he remade it, and not that great. Like, it's not the greatest movie, but it's definitely a B horror movie. And the second one, I wouldn't even bother with it, but this one, awesome movie. It's about an old building, and I believe there's a caretaker in it, and the killer actually moves in through the walls, and he has all these secret passages and everything like that to get to people. And, well, he kills people with toolbox items, hammers, drills, saws, you name it, nails, screwdrivers. Strangeland, yes, it is. That's the one with Mr. Howdy, or what's his name's in it, from Twisted Sister, isn't it? Is that the one? But this is a good watch too. Toolbox Murders. Moving on to number 12. We got another 80s vampire movie with the late great Bill Paxton, Near Dark. This is about a young guy that goes to a town, or lives in a town, and this group of people, he finds this girl that he kind of is falling in love with, and she's in this weird family of different people. Lance Hendrickson's in it. If you know him from Pumpkinhead, Terminator, he's in just Aliens, tons of movies. Another vampire movie. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's really the best vampire movie. It's definitely a good watch for a horror movie. There's lots of blood, guts, and gore in some parts when they're feeding and whatnot. But sometime throughout the movie, the guy doesn't even know that they're a vampire family, and he still doesn't learn it until after a while. So, but If you want to watch a good vampire movie in October, Near Dark, definitely one. Next movie is another ghost movie. It's number 11 on the list, and that's White Noise with Michael Keaton. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and my memory is definitely out there on it. I can't really remember a lot of it, but I remember it being a really good ghost movie. It came out like there's this one and I think Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. They both came out around the same time. Nothing like the video game, that's for sure. But White Noise definitely has to do with frequencies and stuff like that that ghosts make, whatnot. But I definitely suggest to watch this. And if it's any, like I said, I think it was a well done movie. Some people might disagree, but another good movie to watch about ghosts during Halloween. White Noise. I need a sip of coffee here. Apologize for the slurping. It's early in the morning. Alright, we're at number 10. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Another zombie movie, The Return of the Living Dead. I already had a review of these movies a while back. If you want to go back through my videos and watch them, talked about it quite well. Over 5-10 minute video. There's 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts. It's been going for a while. It's more of a zombie horror comedy, but it's definitely a good watch. Check out my review on it if you want to know more. And this is number 10. Keeping with the zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead. Now this is the remake version that Tom Savini did. There's the black and white version, which also got colorized from the 60s, I believe, 60s, late 70s. But anyway, this is the one in the 80s. And this also has Tony Todd from Candyman. Definitely same movie. If you've ever seen Night of the Living Dead, the first one, the black and white one, or the colorized version. Probably you can find this movie on YouTube to watch, I believe. So, but it's definitely this exact same storyline, just a little bit different and a lot more Tom Savini gore in it. Really great zombie movie. Just a copy of what began all this zombie craze back then. So, if you like George A. Romero zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead. Just hang on 1 second. Pretty sure we're on number 10. I might be confused here, and I might have mixed up the numbers, but pretty sure we're on number 10. Ugh. Number 10 is The Hills Have Eyes. Now this is the remake. I have wanted to. It was a series back in the 80s. Wes Craven did, and then it was remade again. I didn't care too much for the old version. I like the newer Hills Have Eyes. It's almost got the same premise as Wrong Turn, except the fact that the cannibals in this one are spawned from some kind of nuclear explosion or testing where this family lived out there. Um, there's some pretty gross spots in the movie with babies and whatnot, and some of the deformities, the way they look. Um, but the costumes and the way that a lot of the characters look in the movie is really well done. All the characters that play the actors play in the movie, um, did a phenomenal job. Like I said, I like it better than the old one. Some people might not, but The Hills Have Eyes, um, yeah, if that kind of stuff freaks you out, like getting stuck in the middle of nowhere and killer cannibals being around you, Hills Have Eyes, definitely watch this. Yeah, I seen that. You were telling me yesterday or the other day in Worm Stream that you found it. Um, I Graduation Day. I don't believe that's the one that I thought it was though. Um, Graduation Day kind of sounds like a different movie, but I might be wrong. I seen you were saying about it. Number 9. I know this is running a little long. People may be getting bored, but if you want to keep watching, thank you. I appreciate it. Number 9, Cabin Fever. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever watched this. It's about a group of people that go to a cabin just to get away in the woods and whatnot, and then there's some kind of contamination in the water, and everybody starts getting sick and freaking out at each other. There's I don't want to even give any spoilers, but there's one really sick part for girls. If you're like, if you remember watching the movie and razors and all this stuff, well, you'll remember that part. The gore effects in it are really good. It's an Eli Roth movie. He's an awesome director, and um, what's his name from Boy Meets World is in it. I can't remember. Crap. I don't remember his name. Hey, there's no spoilers here. Yeah, the makeup and everything in this was just great and sickening parts and whatnot. Hey Worm, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in, buddy. Cabin Fever. Definitely watch this during Halloween or days before October. It's good to watch anytime. Yeah, definitely not for the squeamish, Derek. Number 8 is Ryder Strong. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Worm. Yeah, Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World was in it. This is Aliens. I have like the whole set, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm saying that Aliens, not the first one, the second one. People are going to say, no, that's a sci-fi movie. No, the second one is definitely not like fully sci-fi. It's got a lot of horror elements in it. There's just the creepiness of the aliens slinking around, not knowing what's going on, and there's definitely some good gore and murder and everything else in it. If you've never seen Aliens, we're just going to speed this up. Watch it. One of the best movies I've ever seen, like, bar none. That sci-fi horror thing. The Thing is definitely up there with that too. So we're going to speed this along. We're on number 7. Number 7 is It. I like the new It movie. Nobody would probably disagree with me on that. It was really well done. Although I do like Tim Curry better as Pennywise in the old one, the old TV movie. Great Stephen King book, even though the book's a lot more in depth than the movie is. Really looking forward to seeing the second one. Haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it, uh, the story, like the clown was a thing that they buried back in the day about the town, and definitely a group of kids find out about it because kids are disappearing and all this stuff going on. I'm not going to go too in depth to the story. Um, Definitely check it out. Yeah, the remake is just was really well done. Like I said, I just like Tim Curry a little bit more as Pennywise. Now, I think we're on number 6 or 7. I don't know. I'm lost on the numbers where I'm at, but I think I'm on 6 or 7. Anyway, let's keep going. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now the old one, Tobe Hooper's one from way back when, by now, like bar none, the best, one of the best movies. Um, I have uh, the beginning one here right in my hand. That's the one I could find offhand right now. But I do like the remakes. Some of them are really good. Um, but definitely watch the old ones before you watch the remakes. Um, the remakes were a little bit better done, more gore and stuff like that, but they're not as seriously scary as the first ones. First one was anyway, not the second one. Yeah, the Jessica Biel one wasn't. That's the one I'm talking about. Like I said, the acting in the remake was good. I liked it a lot, especially the sheriff. Um, it's got so many different movies now. There's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, and there's the Origin one about Leatherface, and there's so many of them. But like I said, the first one, best one, the old one. I think I'm on 5. Number 5 is Black Christmas. Yeah, R. Lee, that's who it was. Yeah, he was awesome. Black Christmas. Um, Old one is probably the best one. I don't have it. Well, I have it in a different way, but I'm not going to say how. This is the first remake. They're doing another remake, which I don't think is going to be that great, but a lot of people take crap on this movie. Excuse me, I need a drink. Yeah, they crap on this remake. I thought it was really well done. Another Canadian-made movie. The first one was. Yeah, Blumhouse can suck it. um, the this one, there were some really cool parts in it, and like I said, this is a movie I really don't want to talk a lot about and spoil it for everybody, but um, it's more of a December movie to watch than like October, but it's still a horror movie, still a slasher movie, so it's either or. You know, you can watch this around Christmas time if you're into horror movies like I am, and most of us are. Um, Enjoyable watch, whatever one you choose to watch, and we'll move on. Uh, Next up is, excuse me, Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those beepers? Just joking. Um, yeah, it's not what I'm looking forward to. That's for sure. The new Black Christmas, but yeah, Jeepers Creepers. Wow, this movie came out of nowhere, and a lot of people hate director of it. I guess he's some kind of chauvinist pig, but that's no reason to hate on the movie. First one, I was awesome. The storyline, the backstory to him, and everything like that. The creature effects were awesome. The gore was awesome. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. No, I can't say any more about it. Then the second one with the cornfield and the bus was cool and different. And even the third one, if you haven't seen the third one, it's still a good watch. It's not as good as the other two. I don't think it has as big a budget to do everything, but it's still well done. Uh, Definitely should be a character on DVD, the Creeper. Um, and I'm not going to get into the storyline of the movie. If you haven't seen it, given the storyline, I'd probably spoil it. Even watching the trailer for it kind of spoils this movie. But definitely good watch in October. And it seems like it's kind of based around that time of the year. So, with scarecrows and everything like that. So, Jeepers Creepers. A good watch. Next one. Now, this movie scared the crap out of me when I watched it when I was younger. And I suggest the best way to watch this movie is if you can find the VHS version. I know there's Blu-rays, there's DVDs, there's whatever. The Exorcist. Now, this is a classic horror movie for Halloween and the month of October. If you never ever watched this movie, you should. It's really, I thought it was really scary, and for an old movie, really well done. Freaked me out as a kid. Definitely wouldn't watch it in the dark when I was younger. Um, but it's one of my most favorite movies. Yeah. And if you don't know the story, it's about a girl being taken over by possession. Linda Blair plays her. Some of the effects in it are crazy, well done. Didn't care too much for the sequels. Yeah, if you're into the possession movies and stuff like that, and freaky things flying around the room, creepy, suspenseful horror. I don't even know what else to say about this movie that hasn't already been said, but I think you should definitely watch it. Exorcist. I'm not even saying the numbers anymore because I'm so confused on where I'm at. I've been doing this for so long. It's too early in the freaking morning. Next up on the chopping block is Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, this is the first four. I do have the rest of them. The first one, I would definitely go with watching that if you're going to watch a movie in October. Not the other ones aren't bad. You can watch them too. They're more comedic, not scary. Freddy Krueger, icon slasher. And if you don't know who Freddy Krueger is, you've been living under a rock or somewhere away from this. I'm not scared of it at all now. Exorcist movie. That was back when I was young, way young. But Nightmare on Elm Street, classic horror to me. Classic 80s horror. Not cheesy at all. Wicked storyline. I don't know how Wes Craven came up with this. I know it says that there's a making of it and everything. He explains it all, how he came up with the idea. God rest his soul. And one of the best writers and movie makers that we've ever had. I love the part where there's so many cool kills in this one. Johnny Depp's first movie. Since my wife is a huge Johnny Depp fan, it's probably one of the only horror movies she owns. And yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, definitely top 10 movie to watch in October for horror movies. Now we're down to the last two. Number 2, Friday the 13th. Now, I haven't done my thing where I say what Fridays are my favorite and top 5, but Friday the 13th doesn't really matter which one you watch. Definitely a October movie for slasher, horror, 80s. All of us here have at least watched one of the movies one time, seen something about it, played the video game, you know the origin story, you know everything about it, you know why it's on here. Some of the best kills, one of the coolest characters, storylines. First 4, really good. Choose whatever one you want to watch. Even the remake. Oh, I know you never seen them. I don't even know who this guy is, Mr. Big Worm, coming in here talking all this crap. No, just joking. Yeah, Friday the 13th. One of the top movies to watch. I got a pile of movies beside me. This is like crazy. This is not all my horror movies, though. Like I said, I just went through Grab Quickly this morning and I have a lot of other ones, but I'm not going to show them because they're not button. Now, can anybody guess what the #1 movie is to watch in October? Do 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 do. Cross my eyes. You guessed it. Halloween. #1 movie to watch in October. On Halloween, too. Make sure you watch it on Halloween. It makes it so much better. The start of a genre, but not truly, because there were slasher movies before this, but this one spawned it in North America, definitely. I don't have the Psycho movie, that's why it's not in here. But I didn't get to that. See, that's the thing. Everybody's getting ahead of me. But Halloween, yeah. First one's the best one. You want to watch any other ones, go right ahead. I like the Rob Zombie one, number 4 or 5. Not 3, or not the new one. I don't suggest those because I didn't like either of them, but it's your choice. Yeah. Definitely the #1 movie to watch in October is Halloween with Michael Myers. If you don't know about it, you've never seen it, you should watch it. Now, we're going to do some honorable mentions of movies that I think that are other good movies to watch that I'm not going to show. #1, yes, Psycho. Psycho is definitely a classic horror movie. It's not the spawn of the slasher movies. It started it all, kind of. But I wouldn't really call it a slasher movie. There's not very much killing in it. Same with Halloween, though, but it's definitely more of a slasher movie than Psycho. Anyway, Derek had mentioned a movie earlier. These are some movies that I have that are foreign movies. High Tension. One great psychological horror movie. The Shining, yes, that's another good one. I have that in the room, actually, The Shining. Tons of Stephen King movies that belong on here, on this list, that you could watch. There's tons of B-grade horror movies that you could watch, like slasher ones. Slumber Party Massacre, Sleepaway Camp. The list goes on and on. There's tons and tons and tons of movies. Trick or Treat. Body Bags. Critters. You name it. There's Jaws. Even Jaws. Tons and tons of horror movies. High Tension is definitely a good movie. Like, I like that movie. Cold Prey is another foreign movie that's dubbed over. That's a really cool killer movie that not a lot of people have seen. No, Debbie Does Dallas. No, that's not on here. No. We're not talking about them kind of movies. Those are the movies in the back secret room, when you used to go rent movies and behind that curtain. Yeah. Like I said, there's tons and tons and tons of movies. I have even more in my room, like just a lot of them people aren't familiar with. The Descent is a good movie. Um, just you name it. There's just so many of them, and you get your pick. If you just want to find something to watch. Like I said, a Dead Downrange movie the other day was phenomenal. Hey Anna, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping in. Just so many that you could think of. This is only a little bit of what I have. I have just tons and tons and tons and tons. Like you can go on, if you don't have Shudder, you can go on there. And if anybody doesn't know, Creepshow uh, has a new series on Shudder. I watched the first couple episodes. The new American Horror Story, definitely suggest watching that. That's cool. I like the opening, the everything to do with that. It's every time I watch it, it just takes me back to when I was a kid. Definitely a good watch on that. But thank you everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this little stream I did. Um, if you have a favorite horror movie that you like to watch in October, leave a comment down below. I like talking about movies. It's one of my favorite things. It's definitely horror movies, but I do like my action movies and my sci-fi movies too. But do a top 30 B horror movies? Oh, I have trouble doing a lot of even 5 movies. I'm so nervous on cam. Chuck Norris, yeah. I haven't gotten around. It's just hard to get set up too, Derek. Like there's just so many things. Like I haven't done my top 5 Friday movies yet, and even doing movie reviews, I get all tensed up, and I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. B horror movies, yeah. I've seen so many horror movies. Like I can't even remember half of them, but like if you've never seen ATM, Chain Letter, Chrome Skull, what's that? There's another deadly one. There's just a lot of them. Yeah, my top 31. Yeah. Well, this is like there's just so many movies you could just talk about. But like I said, I'm gonna end this now. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Appreciate all the views and likes and just the banter and the talk. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked a lot of the movies. If you haven't seen some of them, watch them. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.